Yes, did you have something to say to Marlon to what
Yeah,
he's
because
saying
I
here?
know that face he made when I said something that went wrong.
No,
So
no, you said what you feel, and that's legit.
I'm
What I'm
just
saying, huh? What happened? What I do?
I was just messing with you. I like
Oh
picking on
no,
you
no,
the
but
way
I'm saying,
you you know
no,
I
no,
like
no.
messing with you when I say something and I know as soon as I say something that this has a different take on it, this will go,
Yeah, my face talks too loud. I'm sorry.
mm,
Um, so for me,
your
it's like
face
this.
too loud.
Like it, it this is gonna sound. It's probably gonna sound a little bit like the right wing people or whatever. The people that they get on the board and talk crazy. Um, because once again, I try to look at it from their point of view because I've decided that these people are my enemy. So I'm not under any false pretenses in trying to make friends out of enemies. That's not who I am. You work with who you can work with, and you fight who you have to fight. So in so saying, when they say, "Yo, all these laws that you talking about, these laws was 60, 70, 90, 100 years ago. They've all been taken off the books, or they're not even being enforced anymore. Why are you so mad? Why are you still fighting the battles of your grandparents and your great grandparents? Right now, you ain't got to deal with all that." And there's some truth in that, but it's a lazy truth. It's a truth that is ignoring all the underlying things and how things stack over time, right? So walk with me on it. There's two paths here. There's a path that Marlon was talking about, which is true. This stuff, you can take whatever, you can change the name of it, you can put some new paint on it, you can do all that stuff. It's still fulfilling the same intention. The same intention, which is how do we suppress the growth and freedoms of other groups of people. Like that's the plan, right? Um, So that's that path. True enough, still impacts us today. That's why schools are funded by property taxes, even though we know how bad that is. Which is why we still have the electoral college, which we know how bad that is. Which is why they haven't done an amendment to give them the ability. It's just funny how I have to say this. Do an amendment so they could get the ability to do an amendment to fix the senator allocations of the states. I was listening to the other California, just Los Angeles has like 10 million people in it. That's more than 41 combined population states. So 41 states have 84, 80. Well, I'm sorry, man, my math is all bad. 42 senators have 82. So they got 82 senators to the equivalent of two. Okay,
Yep.
that doesn't make sense. Like mathematically, it doesn't make sense. That's not representation based on this weird theory that they like to sell us in school about taxation without representation and all that, because that wasn't what really went down. But if you were looking at that, it's just wrong, and we know it's wrong, but we're not gonna fix it though. So we have these things that are very clearly set in place that still tilt the game. So yeah, miss me with all of that other stuff. But then there's the other side of the argument. Our forefathers are grandparents, right? We ain't even talking about like ancients, right? Just grandparents came up in a time where they could not own, rent, work, everything was subject to somebody who, okay, my grandparents. Because see, my parents came up under Jim Crow. So that meant my grandparents, their whole life was under Jim Crow. All right. So they dealt with racial terrorism. They dealt with racial laws. They dealt with employment racism. They dealt with social racism. They dealt with all the levels, every level of racist active oppression. Our group, those of us who came around in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, we're the beneficiaries of the hard work that they did. So we aren't dealing with any of those things at the level that they did. The biggest thing we have to deal with is social racism, which is more, and it's not even like effective social racism. There's one-offs, you got racists, but really what we're doing is legacy of racism, and we're dealing with obstructionism, right? That means my grandparents were dealing with it on level 10. I'm dealing with it on level 3. So given that, what the hell are we doing with it? See, you nailed it on the head, Marlon, when you said I'm a grandparent now, and now I got to be the protector for yet another generation. And what I'm saying is that's mainly because we didn't do what the hell we were supposed to do, and our parents didn't do what the hell they were supposed to do. Because what should have been happening is we should have been using this fact that we have less oppression and obstruction to build communities, to build businesses, to build things that would give more of our children an insulated environment in which to grow and develop. Instead, we are still in protection mode because we don't have anywhere safe to go. I am still having to teach my daughters survival tactics on how to navigate white spaces and survival tactics on how to navigate black spaces.